This is Wilson Morales from BlackFilm.com. We're here at the 16th annual ABFF. I'm here talking to Bobcat Films founder and CEO Roger Bobb, who's here to present his feature debut, Raising Izzie. Hello.
How you doing?
So tell us what this Raising Izzie is about.
Sure. Actually, I first heard about Raising Izzie when I came to the ABFF last year. And I was at a screenplay reading, and it ended up winning the best screenplay. And I was talking to the president of GMC, and I told him, that's a pretty good screenplay. And about 3 months later, he came to me and said, hey, do you want to produce this screenplay? And I read it again, and it just really resonated with me. So I said, you know what, I'll produce it, but I got to direct it. And fortunately, he's a very, very smart man, and so he let me direct it. The play ultimately is about love. The screenplay and the film is ultimately about love and family. It's about a couple played by Rockmond, Dunbar, and Vanessa who are childless. And they end up meeting these two girls who happen to be white, and they end up making a connection, and they end up basically saving each other's lives. And that's really what the film is about, how you can meet someone who you think is different from you, but ultimately the values of love and family will trump everything.
Now, you started out as a director, winning a couple of short films here at this festival before you went on to work with Tyler Perry.
Correct.
How does it feel to get back in the director's chair?
It feels great. When I was at Tyler Perry Studios, I was fortunate to direct quite a few episodes of House of Pain and Meet the Browns on the sitcom side, but I always had a burning desire to do something theatrical and feature length. And I just think it was really fortunate that once again, the ABFF, the organization who has really catapulted my career, they were ultimately responsible for me coming in contact with this script and GMC, and with just great synergy. And now here we are, exactly 1 year later, and here's my feature debut.
Can you talk about bringing on Rockmond and Vanessa? I guess I'm not sure if this is their first time working since Soul Food ended.
It is their first time working since Soul Food, and we hadn't really. I cast Rockmond first, and then it just was a series of strange events. And it's like, well, what about Vanessa? Let's just bring them back. Everyone around the country certainly knows them as Kenny. From the Soul Food series, and so they have tremendous chemistry. Actually, the hardest part for me was to not have them be those characters on film, because these are two totally different characters. And when you work with someone on a series for over 5 seasons, you have a tendency to go back to that familiarity. So the hardest part for me as a director was to make sure that they stayed away from those characters, and they did a great job doing it, and they gave magnificent performances in this film, and I'm very happy to have worked with them.
Now, GMC TV has produced a number of inspirational message-themed stories. What's the message behind this one?
The message behind Raising Izzie is that regardless of skin color, regardless of social or economic standards, if you meet someone who resonates with you in your life, then regardless of all that, if they're meant to be in your life, you should allow them to be in your life. And that family ultimately will trump anything.
Now that you got this off the back and you did your first film, when are we going to get a film in theaters?
Next year. I'm doing a film called, I actually can't say, but you will have a Bobcat film production in the theaters next year, and it's going to be a big hit.
And how does it feel to run your own company at this point?
It feels great. I learned a lot from my 7 years as an executive vice president at Tyler Perry Studios, and so now I have my own film studio, Bobcat Films, right there in Atlanta, Georgia, and we've been incredibly busy, and it's been a real blessing, and I'm just glad that I've been able to have my first major film here at the ABFF.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good luck with everything else.
BlackFilm.com.